AkronHipHop.com, reporter, newspaper, online.com, and hard copy. This is Cat Israel with Akron Local News. Honest, fair, fuck everywhere.
I am here with attorney John Sharp. He's going to tell us all about what we're doing out here today. Mr. Sharp.
Thank you. You put me on the spot real quick. The Coalition for a Safe Community. We are a grassroots, on-the-ground organization. We support the victims of discrimination and racism and their families, and we confront the perpetrators. We are a coalition, which means we are drawing together all the groups in Akron that want to help poor and black people. We have right now about 10 members, and we're very selective. Our members have to have fire in their belly. They have to be angry, and they have to feel the people's pain.
We're live on location at Ed Davis Community Center. I have a very important person with me right now. Can you tell everyone who you are?
I'm Pastor Greg Harrison from Antioch Church, Akron.
That's nice. Can you tell everyone what we're doing here today?
Well, we're at Ed Davis. We just had a community forum with the City of Akron Police Auditor, Phil Young. And Phil is just explaining to us his new role. He's explaining to us his how he performs his job, his duties, and he's telling us how we can effectively make complete police complaints. If we have an issue with the police and we need to file a complaint, he's given us a blueprint as to how we can effectively file a complaint and how we can come to him. And we're not sure that a lot of people know that he exists. He has a 24-hour number. So if we have some issues that we don't feel comfortable calling the police, we can call Phil Young, who is independent of the police, and he will take our complaints and he will write them up or help us to write them up, and he will forward them to the police department, and then he will follow our complaints through the whole process to make sure that process is due process. And so I think it's important for us to know that Phil exists. I think it's important for us to not just complain about the police, but if we have truly been used or we've been abused by the police, that we have a recourse that we can actually file a complaint and have that complaint processed and heard. And that's a lot of police reform. The police have a job to do, but we as citizens also have a job to do. And that our job would be to make those complaints. Our job would be to support them when they're right and to demand change when they're not right. And some of it is training and some of it is just abusive officers.
Good afternoon. My name is Philip Young. I'm the independent police auditor in Akron, Ohio. If you have issues with the Akron Police Department, you can call me at area code 330-375-2705. If I'm not in the office, that will ring through to my cell phone. I answer the phone 24 hours a day. So if you have an issue, please give me a call. If you would like to file a complaint against a member of the Akron Police Department, you do not have to go to the police department. You can contact me. I will get you a copy of the complaint form, or you can just email what your complaint is directly to me, and I will see that the police department gets that for investigation. So again, that number is 330-375-2705. Thank you.
I am standing here with the president of the NAACP, and she's going to tell us why it is so important for organizations like hers to be at meetings when it involves the community.
Well, you just said it all. There's no reason for me to say anything. It is important for us to all be together and work as a collective. It is about the collective. Brother Sharp, who invited me to this meeting, he's a past president of NAACP. So I know his core mission is the same as ours. So we are here together to do the work.
We have a very important guest right now. Can you tell everyone who don't know somehow who you are?
Brother Stephen Muhammad, the Akron representative of the Nation of Islam, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Okay. Can you tell us right now, what are we doing here today in this nice day?
Ed Davis, man. Listen, many of you remember the Coalition for a Safe Community. We started back in 2005, and what happened was there had been some disturbances over at Akron U. We had a student there that had allegedly committed suicide. The family was distraught. They didn't know what to do about it, so they looked to see, well, where can I get some help and support? And we had a few brothers, pastors, community professionals, and just the average black man in the community, and sisters also, who said we can't do everything, but we can do something. And we got together and we grew to a pretty decent level of influence as it relates to supporting families that have been either had police issues or just neighborhood challenges. We would go down and support them at the courtroom. We would go to city council and stand with them, and we began to grow in a pretty significant way. We actually were an ad hoc Coalition for a Safe Community / Civilian Review Board. And I'm saying that because right now the civilian review issue is back on the table. All the cities throughout the country after the killing of George Floyd they began to show, well, how can the community do something substantially to ill affect police behavior? But this coalition piece was actually introduced in the city of Akron more than 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Very important. That's very important.
So that's why we're here right now. We're rebooting the coalition, Brother Cottrell, and God willing, we'll be able to have the same, if not a greater impact, because Black people have to realize one thing. In order for you to get anything, you can no longer be a victim. What do victims do? Victims say, somebody offended me. Can somebody please come help me? We want our people to realize that, yes, you've been offended. You never had a time in America where you weren't offended, but you can do something about it yourself. No knight in shining armor, no messianic figure floating in with a magic wand. You and I can do it ourselves. If God is going to do anything for you, he's going to do it because you and I stood up first to do something for ourselves. That's Bible and Quran right there.
Understandable. Now, what are you doing, from an individual perspective recently?
Our primary focus right now is the shootings of our young babies, 14, 15, and 16 years old. We can go protest to the mayor and police chief, stop killing us, and that's great. I don't think it's going to stop it, but you can go and do that and make the petition. But we can do something right now about our sons and daughters who are dying. And when I talk to Black folks in the community, this is where we tend to run out of life and run out of air. And the general consensus is that's just the way it is. And it's as though you don't even know your sons and daughters anymore. They're walking around right now as we do this interview, Brother Cottrell, with AKs, ARs, sophisticated weapons.
True.
And they're going to use them because the conditions are already set for the violence to take place. And we as men specifically now have to do something to save our sons. We got to interrupt this. We have to unite and pool all of our resources as far as our intelligence, those who have standing and influence in the community, right? I'm talking about on the street now. And we need to sit down and we're trying to organize this as we speak, in an off-the-record meeting to determine how are we going to get some control and put some kind of framework around the behaviors of our young sons.
If someone needs an attorney or they need some help, how can they get in contact with you so that you can help them?
Well, they can contact me through the Coalition for a Safe Community, or they can call me at 330-773-4586, 24 hours a day.